Here we have a 2001 Jeep Cherokee Sport XJ. This is a 2-owner, Carfax certified buyback guarantee vehicle. This Jeep has our Stage 2 package on it. If you're unfamiliar with us here at Davis AutoSports, please check us out online at davisautosports.com so you can get an idea of who we are and exactly what we do with these Jeeps. This Jeep came to us 100% original, bone stock. We did all the modifications here in-house. Typically, first let me start off by saying this is a 147,000 mile Jeep. If you are familiar with us, you know that we typically deal with very low mileage XJs, but recently we've been getting a lot of people requesting for us to build higher mileage ones to be in a lower price point, and we're listening to you guys. A lot of people can't afford a $10,000 to $20,000 XJ, so we will start to produce some of these with a little bit higher miles as well to accommodate everybody. Even though the vehicle has 147,000 miles, it's still going to have our standards of our lower mileage XJs. Very good condition overall. Blue Patriot paint. Just take a look down the driver's side of the vehicle, straight as an arrow all the way down. Absolutely brand new Line-X going all the way down the trim. It won't ever fade or come off like a lot of the trim paint will, so it's a nice hard texture Line-X. Brand new 31 by 10.5 15 all-terrain tires. We upgraded the wheels that were on this were the typical steel wheels. We upgraded to a nice pretty 5-star Jeep wheel. Up front with our lift, we have our front shock, front spring, sway bar, bushings and links, as well as all new brackets. Brand new roof rack. Very, very pretty truck. With 147,000 miles, it does have some typical little minor wear. There's a few areas that we will need to touch up. A couple little chips there, here and there. Little scratch here and there. Nothing major, as you see. Far less than average wear for a 147,000 mile Jeep. Completely Line-X, pretty much the whole front of the truck. Front corner bumper, front grille, front bezel. Left the headlights blue to give it a nice look. The hood did have some typical crow's feet that you find on Cherokee paint, so we Line-X the raised portions of the hood. As you see, the lower portions are still Patriot blue, which gives it a really cool look. Has a nice painted fender flares. There's a little area right there on top of the fender where it's kind of paint's kind of got some wear there. That's the most wear you'll find on the vehicle. If you like, we can have that fender completely painted brand new for $250. We also, I didn't mention earlier on this suspension lift, besides what I mentioned, the shock, springs, sway bar links and bushings, we have brand new control arms, as well as a heavy-duty steering stabilizer up front. There's the steering stabilizer up there. So all the components have been replaced, and obviously an alignment as well. Panels on this truck are very straight. There's not a ton of dings on them. Beautiful Line-Xing on all the trim all the way down. Little wear spot right there. A couple little tiny areas on the paint, nothing major at all. As you see, the paint has a beautiful reflection. We did do our full paint correction service on this vehicle, so the paint's very soft, has a beautiful shine. The only defects are pretty much any nicks that went through the paint that we will touch up. We don't have any blue Patriot in stock right now, but we will touch it up before it sells. So as you see, the paint just has a absolutely gorgeous reflection, just due to our wet sanding and compounding and buff and polish service that we did on it. Nice thing about this truck too is it is a rust-free truck. Not too many dealers will show you a video of their Cherokees underneath. This is a completely bare frame, has no touch-up paint, nothing on it, just a bare metal frame in great condition. If you look at the floor pan underneath, it's almost like brand new. A lot of the times these fuel rails get all rusted up. So rear end looks super nice on this truck. Floor pan is unbelievable on this truck. So very, very nice truck underneath. As you see, all your new suspension components, control arms. So very, very nice truck. Just makes it nice that it's got some miles on it, so it makes it a little bit less expensive than our typical build. So it's something that anyone can really afford who's in the Cherokee market. Inside is very clean as well. I do want to mention the headliners on these Cherokee XJs have a tendency to sag, which was the case on this one. And it has a brand new headliner, absolutely brand new. Those aren't sagging portions, that's just where they drop down. An absolutely brand new headliner. It does have a, I believe it's a 12 or 6 disc CD changer right there. Previous owner put a little box over it so it didn't get scratched up, which is pretty cool. Full-size spare, brand new. You don't see too many full-size spares. The rear gate shocks don't sag, or as you see, they work absolutely perfect. Back area of this Jeep is very, very clean. Seats don't have a lot of stains or anything like that. The back of the seats are in good condition. Carpets are real clean. Another big thing on these trucks, please make sure you look at this when you're buying them. Underneath of these doors get really, really rusty, and there's absolutely no rust on any of the bottom doors, which is a really cool thing, because usually those things are just all rusted up on the bottom. So another cool thing is these brackets right there for the seats. That big bolt right there is exposed on the bottom side of the truck, so the rust will travel through, and usually those brackets get all rusty, believe it or not. So no crack in the vinyl seats right there. So for 147,000 miles, super clean truck. And a cool thing about this, it does have the Select Track transfer case, which is a nice option to have. Very clean cup holders. Just a very nice truck. Control module for the CD changer. It does have your books in there. So this is a very nice truck, and if you're familiar with these 4.0s, these straight 6s, they're phenomenal motors. 147,000 miles on your normal vehicle may be considered somewhat high. On these are little legendary motors, so you know, 147,000 miles on one of these is definitely not an issue. What we'll do is go ahead and do a quick test drive of the vehicle. All window regulators work, which is usually an issue with these trucks. While the engine's warming up, I'll go through some of the stuff that we can do at a low speed here. Go ahead and engage it in 4-wheel drive and all that good stuff. This Jeep also has cruise control, which a lot of them don't have, so that's nice. Go ahead and throw it in part-time 4-wheel drive. As you see, illuminates no problem. That's pretty much the main difference of the Select Track transfer case, is you do have part-time 4-wheel drive, which is a very nice option if you're in an you know, terrain that you really don't need it all the time, but you don't want to go in and out of 4-wheel drive. You know, if there's light snow on the ground, you're in, you know, a trail that may have some mud in certain areas, so that's a really nice feature to have. It engages when it needs to engage and disengages when it doesn't. We'll go ahead and throw it up in full-time 4-wheel drive, and but as I'm turning the steering wheel on the concrete, I already feel it engage in four-wheel drive, so that's real nice. Go ahead and stop and put the truck in reverse. Hit the gas. As you see, it goes right in reverse with no issues there. Go ahead and put the vehicle in reverse, or excuse me, neutral. Add a four-wheel drive. You can also do that on the fly as well. You don't have to put the car in neutral to do that. Very smooth acceleration, very smooth transmission, no issue there whatsoever. Now what I'm going to do, we have a curb over here. I'm just going to go kind of up and down the curb, and there's no unusual noises coming from all the new suspension components. Goes up very smooth, not a bunch of rattling. Everything's installed. We're in a rough terrain right now. There's no squeaking coming from the suspension. Very, very smooth. No rubbing of the fenders on the tires, everything, the offset on the wheels, everything's proper. Hard on the brakes, there's no noises, no shimmy of the wheel, no vibration in the rotors. We're on a little incline right here, and I'll show you how it went up this hill no problem, with no rubbing of the fender flares or anything. Nothing worse than having a little lifted Cherokee and you go over a curb or a hill and it starts rubbing on you. So as you see, absolutely no issues there. As you see, that tire is pretty deep into that fender well, and there's no rubbing of any sort. A lot of these Cherokees that you see on the, well, I guess it would be normal, but a lot of the pre-existing lifted Cherokees, you know, the lifts have been on there for a long time. They squeak, they rattle, and make all sorts of noise. That's one of the reasons we do a lot of stuff that, we install a lot of stuff that doesn't come on the lift kit, like all the new bushings and new hardware to make sure everything's pretty much brand new. So suspension-wise, as you see, just going up and down the curb, no sort of annoying noises or anything like that. Do one light quick acceleration. All the electronics have been tested in the vehicle. They work, absolutely no issues. So there you have it. 2-owner, Carfax certified buyback vehicle, stage 2 lift from Davis AutoSports, 147, but as you see, very functional car. Oil pressure, we're at an idle. Oil pressure is exactly where it should be, which is a great indication of the vehicle's or the engine's condition. There's no low oil pressure, proper temperature. So very, very nice Jeep. If you have any questions, you can contact us at 202-491-9929. Thank you.